Hey guys, and welcome back to this Tottenham FIFA 18 career mode, where in today's episode we're going to sort of begin our preparation for Season 2 here at Spurs. You can see from the league table there where we finished. Don't need to not spoil the last episode. We didn't win the title despite being in first spot for the majority of the season, which just shows that basically we did bottle it. We didn't cope with the pressure towards the end of the season. We had a couple of sketchy results, which ultimately did cost us the league title. But despite that, we got an email from the Spurs board saying earlier in the year we set out to complete a long-term goal, increasing the club's worth, blah, 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 blah. And we've finally done it. We finally did it in mid-May. Once the games had done, we increased the club worth in line with our objectives. So very nice work. Interestingly, we have had a loan offer from Drogheda United over in Ireland to take Samuel Shashwa on loan for a year, which is a deal that I'm happy to accept, to be honest. A lot of youngsters still sticking around the squad this year, not developing, not getting any game time. It's better to just send them out. He can go. Maybe not. Maybe he won't be going anywhere. Doesn't fancy it by the looks of it. Talks have broken down. Look at this guy, Shayon Harrison. Wages we're offering are insulting. Client doesn't want to extend his ties with the club. We'll see ourselves out. I actually offered him, you can see he's on £6,000 a week. I offered him a signing bonus of £25,000 and to go up to £6,500 a week. And so it's a small pay rise, but still a pay rise nonetheless. He's actually on £5,800 a week, so it was £700 pay rise. He turned it down, didn't fancy it, and stormed out. These are the guys whose contracts are actually expiring, as you can see, at the end of this season. I think the kind thing for most of them would be just to let them go. We have got decent squad depth, and obviously I am hiring youth scouts to go out and find players with big potential. That's something I'll definitely be doing at the start of next season. So I think with all of these, I'm just going to let their contracts expire. Maybe Glover will keep around, because it's always good to have a third goalkeeper at the club. I realised that I didn't check the winners of the FA Cup and Carabao Cup in the last episode. So you can see FA Cup is Chelsea. They beat Crystal Palace, who've done really well to get to the final. They beat them 3-1 at Wembley. And Carabao Cup, if I scroll along, Manchester United were the winners of the other domestic competition, beating Chelsea, who got to the final again. Decent in the cup competitions this year, Chelsea. They just didn't really mount any sort of title threat. So I got this email. The first season has officially ended now, and the board are saying they could not be happier with our performance. The players and staff clearly look up to us, and we've done an excellent job aligning ourselves with the club vision, both on and off the pitch, and we would be delighted to have you stay on at the club next season, which I'm quite relieved about, because our cup form was shocking. We went out in the early stages of both of the cups and then lost our grip on the league title. But second place, if you look at the season on a whole, is a fairly decent finish. Okay, Season 1 officially over. Season 2 now here upon us, and our new objectives are in. Let's take a little look at them. Champions League, reach the final. Are they sure? It's the first thing I see. Win the FA Cup and win the Premier League. Are they mad? Cheers then, board. What a joke. Win the FA Cup, win the Premier League, and be runners-up in the Champions League. Long-term youth development, and one player from the youth academy and play at least 50% of the games. 50% of the games in the next season. What the hell? Oh, within 2 seasons. So we've got... Oh, that's a joke as well. Board have gone mental. 176 million, essentially, from shirt sales. That's kind of out of my control. But salary growth under 10%, that's fine. But domestic and continental... Nah, very unrealistic. It's going to be a very stressful season, I think. I think the first thing we're going to do is take a look at the squad that has got this massive task ahead of them. All the youngsters have kind of left, so we can really now see where we're lacking in depth and where we need to improve, if anywhere. A lot of you voted, and your majority, the preference of the majority of you, is to try and improve our defence. So we'll have a little look at that. We've got 3 goalkeepers, that's fine. Good number to have at the club. Hugo Lloris, I think, will be good for one more season, even though he's obviously getting on a little bit. But if he plays anything like he did last night at the Bernabeu against Real Madrid, I'll happily keep him forever. But we've got Aurier and Walker-Peters as our 2 right-backs. Then we've got Alderweireld, Sanchez, Vertonghen, Dyer, who I predominantly use as a midfielder, Foyth, and Carter-Vickers. Lots and lots of centre-back. I think the reason that a lot of you voted to improve the defence was Alderweireld and Vertonghen are now getting on a little bit. Alderweireld's 29, Vertonghen now 31. But we do have Davinson Sanchez. We do also have Foyth. And I'm not sure whether Cameron Carter-Vickers is going to be good enough for first team action. I know he's got the same overall rating as Juan Foyth, but he's an exciting prospect, and he made a number of appearances for us last year, whereas Carter-Vickers was out on loan. In terms of left back, we've got Ryan Sessegnon, obviously, who we signed. He will be the backup to this man. Danny Rose, and then we've got Agilvi, I don't know how you say his name, Connor Agilvi, probably going to go out on loan, that's for sure. I'll actually loan list him right now to make sure he can go out and continue his development. Victor Wanyama missed the majority of last season through a long-term injury. I'm so glad to have him back because he can play, you know, when we need that physicality in midfield, he is perfect for those games. Right midfield, we've got Marcus Edwards, our very own youngster that I'm going to look to try and bring through and give as much game time to as possible. He's got a lot of potential. He's rated 74 now overall as well. Shashua, can never say his name. I'd like him to go out on loan. He is loan listed. Jogger to come in for him, but he rejected the move. Then we've got Riyad Mahrez, who can also play on that right-hand side, and he will probably be the starter depending on what formation we decide to go for this season. Moussa Dembele, I will be transfer listing. Looking at the result of the polls on yesterday's video, a whopping 70% of you actually said that we should get rid of Moussa Dembele now, let him move on. Obviously, he's a very, very good player, but his contract's got 12 months left on it anyway, so we should just cash in and let him go. Harry Winks is kind of the natural replacement that Spurs have got coming through. Very, very good midfield player. Made his England debut about a week ago as well, so I'm excited for that. Pablo Acosta, obviously the youth player that we brought in, the youth scout, scouted him up, said he's got decent potential, and his growth has been fairly good through mainly training. We did give him a lot of sort of 10-minute, 15-minute glimpses at the end of last season, but if we can get him involved, we're going to be playing a lot more games this year with European competition, so hopefully he'll get some game time there. Leon Goretzka is good. He was like the natural Dembele replacement in terms of players that we bring in, but if Dembele goes, I would like to bring in another central midfield player just to make sure we've got depth in case we need to play an extra man in there, change of formation or whatever. So we will be looking to bring in another centre mid. In terms of left midfielders, we've got Son mainly, just him. Robbie Brady I predominantly use as a left back, but now that we've got Sessegnon and Rose, I don't know where Brady's going to fit in. I mean, he was a signing that I made just because I prefer him as a player to Ben Davies, I'll be honest, but Ben Davies has come on leaps and bounds in real life, so Brady might have a tough time fitting into the side this year, but again, we're going to have a lot of games. Champions League and Premier League will be the two priorities, so maybe Brady can play in all the cup games. Then we've got Josh Onoma, exciting prospect, natural cam, so he can rotate in that role behind Harry Kane with the likes of Dele Alli and Christian Eriksen. These two will have a big say this year. If we are to be successful, we need these two to be on their game. In terms of wingers, again, we've got Justin Kluivert, can play either on the right or the left, very handy. But I think I'm going to prioritise maybe Edwards over Kluivert, because Edwards is one of our own, so we'll see. Kazai Sterling is a youngster that's going to go out on loan. I'm loan listed him right now. And then another big percentage of you voted to transfer list Vincent Janssen and Fernando Llorente. Janssen obviously hasn't really hit the heights that he did in the Dutch league since joining Spurs. Spent last year out on loan, so it's not as if we're going to miss him or miss his goals from this year. And Fernando Llorente, now 33, his stats are kind of plummeting. That leaves us with Angel Correa and Harry Kane as our strikers. So I think we perhaps need to get a third choice striker at the club. One with more quality than Janssen and Llorente. So what I've done is I've sent the scouts out to look for a world-class midfielder, central midfielder, and a striker. I didn't put this as world-class because obviously they are coming in to be a backup to the likes of Kane and Correa. So I'm going to send them out to various countries. You can see we've got 5 scouts available here. I'm just going to send them in and around Europe, Germany, Spain, France, Italy, and I'll probably send one to South America, either Brazil or Argentina, just to have a look. And I'm also going to hire some youth scouts and see if we can hire some decent players, young players like Pablo Acosta. So these are youth scouts that I've got: Samu Ascari and Jordan Rose. Samu is going to Chile to find us a striker. He's on a 3-month duration there. And Jordan Rose, the English scout, is heading to the US to try and find us a kind of playmaking midfield style of player. In terms of budget then, we have been given £75 million, which in comparison to the objectives and what the board want, that is a relatively small sum of money. It's not like, right, we want you to win this, and here's all the money to do it. 75 mil is quite a modest budget, but this is where you guys come in. If I collect all of the comments in together, we'll have better ideas than me just going out and buying players on my own. So let me know who you think we should go for down in the comments below. Keep it realistic if you can, and let's just see who we can bring in to try and turn this Spurs team into a super team. Cleared a majority of names off the transfer shortlist, basically, but some remain from last year. Kovacic was a popular choice. Obviously, I said I want to buy another midfielder. We'll see what the scout comes back with, but Kovacic and Saul Niguez are obviously options there. Both would be rather expensive and take up probably about 80-90% of the budget though. So we've got to be careful there. A lot of people mentioning Gareth Bale. I'm not sure whether the opinions are kind of split on that. I might do a poll, so do keep your eyes out for the cards above this video to see whether or not you want us to try and get Gareth Bale. And in terms of striking options, Kasper Dolberg has a fairly cheap release clause. I am conscious though that a lot of people buy Dolberg, and a lot of people are the fans of the different signings, going out and buying players that not everybody signs. And Tammy Abraham is a name that I would like to bring in. He's a young English striker who's obviously at Chelsea. He would be the kind of player spent last year on loan at Swansea. He's actually banging some Premier League goals in real life this year as well. He's only 20 years old. Problem is, he is very happy at Chelsea, so we may have to pay a price to prize him away. It's that time again. Pre-season tournament invitation. Let's advance. Always, always, always the one with the most money. We are heading out. I think that said Asia. I didn't even look. I just looked at the prize money and saw that it was over £10 million. So decided to enter that one. What I'll probably do is play one friendly just so there's some game action for you guys in this episode. I won't show you the game in like as much detail as normal, just the very, very, very key highlights. And then I'll put a poll above it. Do you want me to sim or do you want me to play the friendlies? Let me know. Whoa, 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 whoa. Now, it's a huge offer. £83 million Bayern Munich have offered for Eriksen. Now, Eriksen is going to go nowhere. Even if I negotiated for like 250 million, I think you guys would absolutely slaughter me if I even considered getting rid of this man. So that offer is going to be rejected. Go away, Chelsea. Jan Vertonghen is the latest player to be subject to a transfer bid. Obviously 31 years old. People are saying, you know, you might want to think about cashing in, but he's not going, and he's certainly not going to Chelsea. So we got Atletico Madrid in the first game of pre-season. The majority of the squad is still away on international duty because obviously it is a World Cup year in this pre-season. So good chance for the youngsters. Carter Vickers, Foyth, Walker-Peters, Sessegnon, Acosta, Victor Wanyama back from a long-term injury. So it'd be good for him to get some game time. Brady, Onoma, Cliver and Correa is the starting 11. Same problem for Atletico. A lot of their players are on international duty. I think Belgium went out early because they've got Carrasco. We've got Alderweireld and Vertonghen available. I've just chosen not to play them. But a good test for these youngsters. Weird lighting in this stadium. Looks as though we've got like some sort of kit clash. I put them in yellow because I thought it'd be easier to separate the teams than they're red and white. But in hindsight, we should have put our away strip on. But it's bearable. It's bearable. Yes, that's what Victor Wanyama does. That's what we missed last year. Just him breaking play up for the opposition. Just getting his body on the line, knocking players out of the way, using that strength of his to win us the ball back. And it's set up an attack. Here's Robbie Brady. Cuts inside very nicely. What's he going to do? He's on his left foot. Might hit one, Brady. There's a tight angle. It's a decent save. All from Wanyama. All because of Wanyama's interception and persistence in that midfield. Wanyama wins the header. Onoma knocks it down. Cliver back to Wanyama. Into the feet of Correa against his former club. Sissoko is playing against us as well. So it's like a reunion for those two. Here is Correa again. Knocks it inside to Acosta. Straight at the goalkeeper. Good save. Ball is played out to this left-hand side. We've got some defending to do. It's Yannick Carrasco as well, one of the world's brightest wingers. But that is some decent defending from Kyle Walker-Peters. So moving into the second half. No changes as yet because there's a good rhythm about the side and I don't want to disrupt it. Playing all right. Onoma plays the ball out to Cliver. Correa back to Onoma. Going to hit one from distance. Oh, I always fancied taking that one on. Just gone wide. Keeper very comfortable to watch that fly past the post. It wasn't actually that close. Acosta pokes the ball away from his man. Here's Robbie Brady. Back inside to Pablo Acosta. Walker-Peters. This is nice football. Having to be patient though. Correa lays the ball off to Wanyama. Looks to continue his run. Finds Brady. Touch and hit. Robbie Brady nearly caught the keeper out. Hoke has just come on for Atletico. That is not what we need. Victor Wanyama nearly heads us in front. Cliver, good interception. He finds Onoma as well. Oh, lovely footwork. Just goes between the two defenders. Kind of needs to cut back though. Has done. Has very little in terms of support. So going to go for goal, Onoma. That was so close. I like this guy already. He's got a lot of potential. That's a couple of times he's threatened from distance. Oh my God, Sissoko's like turned into Messi. He's going to put the ball in. Oh, he skips inside. Cameron Carter-Vickers has given a penalty away, but didn't actually make a challenge as far as I can see. That's soft. That's very, very soft. There's actually no contact whatsoever. It's going to be Yannick Carrasco to step up, or take 20 steps up. Taking on Gazaniga from the spot here. Can the kick? Whoa, 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 whoa. Maybe he got dizzy from the run-up. Kevin Gamero finds Sissoko. Sessegnon gets the toe in there to slow the attack down. Gamero goes on. Oh, that's good fortune. That is such bad luck in the 89th minute. It's been put into the top corner by Yannick Carrasco. Oh, there's a lot of first teamers now on the pitch for Atletico. The shot was initially blocked, and massive, massive hint of good fortune, but good finish. Bobby Brady will take that off Sissoko. That was an awful touch. Touch it inside. Wanyama. Oh, ref, don't blow it there. I'm building an attack, man. Oh, we've lost 1-0. I'm actually quite pleased with a lot of the performances, and we did dominate the game other than the last 15-20 minutes when they put on the big guns, and then we struggled to cope a little bit. But that shows you how squad depth is really important, because they can just change a game by bringing on a few players like that. Now that's actually where I'm going to end this episode, guys, because I don't want to get too far into pre-season without getting some input from you guys. So let me know transfer suggestions in the comment down below. Let me know whether you want me to play or sim the rest of the friendly matches, or whether you want me to just skip up to the season, do some negotiating, and then just get on with the Premier League games. Let me know. Thank you for all your support, guys. I'm hoping Season 2 is going to be an absolute cracker here at Spurs. Do subscribe if you haven't done so already, and hit that thumbs up button. It helps me out massively, and I'll see you next time.